What is up, everyone? Welcome to another great
Hello.
week of Collegiate Star League. Oh
We're
my
back.
gosh, I'm so excited. This is going to be a good one. I'll introduce myself real quick. I'm our cryptic, but finally, thank God, we have the real man of
I
the show.
have returned. Come on. I watched last week, sick in my bed with hot water, pack on my forehead and a thermometer in my mouth, and Doritos and Mountain Dew, and you did a great job. But I'm
Oh
happy to
wow,
be
thank
back
you.
this week. Alabama
Versus Georgia Tech.
versus Georgia Tech. I
Could
was
be.
trying to think of an Alabama accent, but do you know an Alabama accent? They have accents there, don't you? Don't
Uh,
they? I'm a Canadian. I don't know these things.
There's too many
Don't you?
accents in America, man. I don't know. That's too many.
Alabama. I
Alabama,
think that's how they talk.
probably.
Well, they've been doing a lot of talk. Actually, we had some contact with the teams before the game. We have some interview questions we're going to sprinkle into this cast throughout it,
Ooh,
keeping it
sprinkle them
interesting.
in, sprinkle them in. I like it. I
Just
like
toss
it.
them in there.
Well, in case you guys didn't know, this is week 5, right, for Collegiate Star League. So we've gotten a little bit over halfway through the fall season here, and we're getting close to the end, right?
Time flies when you're with friends, man. I actually
Yeah,
can't believe it. Today I didn't. It was the first time someone said that to me, and I took a look at they're
and you're
like,
like,
we're
what?
talking about next week. They're like, oh, for week 7. I was like, oh my god, like what happened? We just got started.
Yeah,
Like
it went super
seriously.
quick. Went super quick. So what that means, right? With this far into the season, we've got power rankings out, right? So without any further ado, we're gonna give you guys a little video here of some power
Oh, I love
rankings
this thing.
currently in Dota. So check this out.
Sharing ninth is University of Toronto with an undefeated game record of 6-0. Also at number 9 is University of Michigan with the exact same record. Both teams have historically been solid. 8th is Southern Methodist University, currently undefeated with the 7-0 game record. 7th is last season's champions, Rochester Institute of Technology, with a game record of 8-3. 6th is Carleton University. All top 6 have an 8-1 game record, and so all are about the same rank. Next up is University of California, Santa Cruz. Facing 3 strong teams next, we'll see if they keep their spot. At 4 is University of Wisconsin-Madison, who are looking good to finish top 2 of their group. 3rd is University of Georgia with their only loss to UT Austin, a team on many power rankings in the past. Next is University of British Columbia, starting the season well despite a mostly new roster. And finally, Ohio State University, who are looking like the favorite to top their group for this semester. And these are our power rankings for week 4 of Collegiate Star League Dota. Will these 10 stay on the list? Stay tuned to find out.
All right. So as y'all saw there's a lot with these power rankings, right? But there's a lot to be said for the teams that aren't on them yet. So Carlton, how do you feel about these power rankings currently?
I love the power rankings. I love the power rankings. Just like regardless of who's even on them, I just love what the power rankings do to the season. It's
Yeah.
kind of just like this, just like what we were just talking about with how far we already into this we already are into the season with the break coming up.
Mm-hmm.
The power rankers kind of remind you it's like this is actually serious. We've been a lot of fun in games so far, but it's also been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And the power rankings remind everyone that this is pretty serious. And I know I talked to RIT, 7th place on the power rankings, and they expect to be number 1. They're still wearing the crown.
Yeah.
Eradicate actually told me that when he bent his head down to see how far they'd fallen on the power rankings, the crown fell off his head almost.
Oh,
So,
he's still wearing it, I hear. Yeah,
he's still wearing it to this day.
every day. Not
But that's what I
surprised.
love about the power rankings is that it just it stirs the pot, and teams are going to start kicking it into overdrive because of this.
Now, one thing to note also on those power rankings, one of the teams that's actually seated very high on these power rankings is University of Georgia, which both of these teams did lose to. So I won't say that the loss was kind of a blowout. I did watch the Georgia Tech versus Georgia game myself, and it was pretty darn close, despite it being a 2-0. But this should be a good match. I think these teams are pretty evenly balanced. There's some really high-ranked players on both teams, so I'm excited. This is going to be a good game.
I think they're really well matched. This is going to be a great match, and this is going to be quite a decider because the teams are going into this Alabama 2-1 and Georgia Tech 2-2. So they're like trying to prove themselves right now, get ahead of keep a positive win rate.
Yeah, and
So it's very important for both teams.
exactly. And before we go into the match here, we'll have you guys take a look at the current match standings, like who they've lost to and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and transition over to those, and as you can see, University of Alabama 2-1, and Georgia Tech University going to be 2-2. But We're just going to go ahead and jump right into the draft. I know we're getting started. So, without any further ado, all right, so let's go check it out. Oh boy, unless my Dota breaks, feels bad.
Well, let me tell you, Ricky.
Give us a play-by-play here.
Let me tell you what's going on in the draft here, Ricky. I bet you can take a guess. A little hero got banned. First ban. We've been seeing it get banned quite a bit. It is a very annoying bug type hero.
Some call him the Weaver. Is that right?
Some call him the Weaver. Followed up by a hero that Arteezy has been dominating on, and Eternal Envy is known for, and is also known for taking over collegiate games. Terrorblade taken out. Tiny and Phoenix as well. The heroes that can take over games with right clicks, and the heroes that can take over games with their spells.
There we go. I like to see that.
How's your Dota going?
Yeah, no, we're good. Salvaged for sure. We're alive. We're in the draft.
That's what I like to hear.
You know, we managed to make it happen. One thing I am very I want to point out here, how do we feel about these teams? The
banners?
The banners.
Dude, Team Crimson Guard is doing it for me, man. I love it. The other Georgia Tech, they just copy pasted a picture. They didn't even look at the recommended dimensions. They don't even have a singed bottom. Like, look at Crimson Guard's bottom. Doesn't make sense because look how singed it is. It probably got lit on fire at a battle.
Yeah, these guys have battle tested. They're ready.
Yeah, that's a serious. I don't think Georgia Tech has brought their banner to battle yet in that shape. It's in mint condition.
Can we also talk about how clever their team name is? Team Crimson Guard, right? This is the Crimson Tide, right? This is University of Alabama, and they get a clever name like the Crimson Guard. So
definitely a high intellect team, I would say.
200 IQ for sure, at least.
And they're gonna actually start it off with a strength hero. I love Earthshaker. I think he is good mechanically as a hero, what he brings to the game, but I also think from a spectator point of view, he's always fun. Yeah. He's always fun to watch.
He's always a crowd favorite, right?
And speaking of, take a look at the Radiance team. These are the first picks, man. This is
going to be a fun game, right? Like, we know it.
It feels good to be back. But we're going into reserve time for the second pick. What's going on? You don't have your opener figured out?
I mean, there's an Ogre Magi. There's Silencer still in the pool. That's a really good pick. Immediate Ogre Magi pick. All right, there we go. So that's what I was talking about. That hero should get first pick.
How'd you do that? How'd you know?
You know, I have, based on my history of casting here, I'm pretty good at predicting these drafts at this point.
Oh, I mean, I like it. I love everything so far is very entertaining. I'm excited to see. Enigma's been making a little bit of a comeback. He's been not as popular as quite a few other offlaners, but how are you feeling about seeing him more? Do you love this hero? Do you hate this hero?
The Ogre Magi?
The Enigma, actually.
Oh, the Enigma.
They first picked him. They want him so bad.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm pretty sure Lendentoke is like a pretty good Enigma player. I want to say it's him. I've seen play it in the past. So it might be him, but if it's not, I'm pretty sure it's because Georgia Tech has a pretty skilled Enigma player. I think the hero's good, right? I don't usually consider it first pick worthy, especially if there's a Silencer still in the pool.
Yeah, and Earthshaker as well. Without any way to avoid Fisher, Earthshaker can interrupt Black Hole from a long distance.
Yeah.
Both heroes, like strong opener in general, but especially against an Enigma.
Yeah.
So must be very confident Enigma player to tell his team to go first pick with it. So I'm excited to see that. I'm not doubting him at all.
I wouldn't doubt. Yeah.
That's a big boss move.
Absolutely.
You don't just first pick Enigma unless your player tells you to first pick Enigma. So what's up with Ogre, man? Why are we always seeing this hero?
He's just a bully, right? Like he just
really is.
So obnoxious.
How do you stop the what is it, 3 HP regen, like 7 or 8 armor beast?
Typically with another bully, or you just hope to pick a lane that like isn't gonna get punished by having an ogre in it, right? There's a lot of heroes that we're seeing more and more kind of come back into the meta. Ogre Magi, some reason doesn't have like the greatest win rate despite being picked and banned in almost every game. But I think a lot of that is execution or maybe not necessarily playing the ogre. It might not necessarily be on the ogre, his fault. Yeah. Might be the
Yeah,
draft.
Ogre's role is in the first 10 minutes, and then he kind of becomes a bloodlust machine.
Yep.
And the human ward. What about Juggernaut? That's a hero. I love Juggernaut. Juggernaut's a staple hero. How do you feel about Juggernaut versus Ogre? Can Ogre just fight through Juggernaut spin, or does it?
I think it does too much damage still for him. I don't think you wanna tank the spin damage. So Juggernaut's actually like pretty good at dealing with him.
You don't have to.
But I think we're going to be seeing an offlane Enigma. I doubt the Ogre will be there. We'll probably see an Ogre safe lane and maybe a different support for the offlane. Unless this is like a 4-position Enigma.
I have no clue. I'm excited to see what they do with it. It's kind of got me stumped. Now, is Juggernaut going to be okay with Earthshaker and Silencer as the supports?
I think so. I think it'll be all right. You can put Silencer in the safe lane, and that Arcane Curse is enough of a slow, I think, to gap close for Blade Fury and make it a little bit dangerous. My only concern is that it is a little bit squishy of a lane, right? So if you do put this Juggernaut Silencer bottom, it can get punished and it looks like based on that pick right there that it is going to be this Ogre off lane with Enigma. I don't think we'll see Bane down there. Bane will most likely be that safe lane support.
Well, Bane suffers from the same problems Enigma has. Except when they picked Enigma, the supports on Team Crimson hadn't been revealed. Bane doesn't like long-range stuns like Fisher, and Bane doesn't like global silences like Silencer's global silence. Both those heroes have the like almost exact same mechanic where their ult is a very important channeled spell. Bane,
yeah, Silencer could be pretty value.
Yeah, they must be trying to combo Bane with something like maybe a Mirana, because it just seems like there's so many better picks again when you know the Earthshaker and the Silencer.
I feel like we're gonna see. I feel like one thing I'm really confused about is we see this draft so far, right? Axe is not banned and he hasn't been picked.
And I feel like we've been seeing Axe in almost every single game.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't mind. I love that hero.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, and I think as far as like a setup hero for like a Mirana, Axe is also just as good as Bane. He offers a little bit more in team fights and into the late game, and you just get a blink call, sets up a free arrow. It's pretty much just like your Nightmare.
Yeah, have you been seeing how have you been feeling about position 3 Axe versus position 4 Axe?
I think position 3 Axe is better. I think the position 4 Axe was kind of a meme for a little while. Just because they wanted to see if they can get him back into the meta because they knew Axe was strong, but I think he's just you need to run him as a core. He needs those items, and he can farm so well.
He's a bully that can farm. This is very valuable. But speaking of spinning blades, there's a Luna pickup.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Well, Earthshaker can jump on top of a hero, which is something Luna doesn't want to have happen to her. Centaur can jump on top of a hero, which is something Luna doesn't want to have happen to her. However, Black Hole loves it when a bunch of people jump into the same spot. So far we have 2 melee cores, 3 melee heroes on Dire against the Enigma, so even with him being revealed, it seems like neither teams really want to adjust their strategy based on the enemy team's heroes. Luna, I mean, she can eclipse the spinning Juggernaut.
I feel like Luna is good in the fact where if Juggernaut does spin, she does so much pure physical damage that she can shoot him down through it.
Yeah, and she's a natural Manta style builder, so she can use that to not only help with Omni Slash, but also to get rid of global silence on her.
Exactly. Yeah, that was my thought. Is you can go Manta BKB this game, be fairly safe as far as
Luna
goes.
her item build, it makes a lot of sense this game.
Yeah. But I don't think it's necessarily going to be a good game for her. Just I think Centaur and most likely Earthshaker off lane is going to be pretty strong. I think the Bane is going to do work in that lane. So
but the Bane really has to pull his weight in the laning phase because his team fights are just never going to go well against Earthshaker. And
I think he'll have Lunar Blessing level 1, right? So he's going to be hitting pretty hard as a support position.
With him with Brain Sap.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the level 1 and level kind of the early stages of that lane does favor Georgia Tech. The more I look at it.
Speaking of the transition from the laning phase into the mid game, Ogre Magi, as we discussed earlier, loses his role as the team's bully. He's still the team's meat shield, but he becomes the buff bot for Luna, a hero that already farms very fast. Yep. So a strong early game sets up for an absolutely ridiculous mid game for Georgia Tech because of how quick Luna is going to be able to farm.
Yeah,
Currently, she
and
doesn't really have any hero that's going to be eating up her farm. We'll see with the last core. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, I think one of the strengths of Luna is her ability to flash farm or recover farm, and she's probably one of the best heroes in the game at doing that. And Ogre Magi just makes it that much better. One thing to know, I think we've mentioned this before, right? The power of Bloodlust. Just 1 point in Bloodlust is the equivalent of giving your carry a Yasha minus
Oh my
the
God.
agility.
What's the net worth on that? Do you know?
I mean, a Yasha is what, 2,050 gold or something like that. So
Yeah, jeez.
it's like movement speed and attack speed wise, you give your carry a Yasha. Like
and
that's
Luna's already a fast hero that does benefit from fast attack speed.
Yeah,
like most
and
heroes, I guess.
all she needs is that attack speed, that movement speed to just help clear out that jungle. You just farm that much faster, and she will eclipse that Juggernaut even if she doesn't have a good start to the game.
Great choice of words, Ricky.
You like
Very
that?
well
You like
done.
the eclipse?
I love that. I like that a lot, man. I'm a fan. There's the Mirana ban.
Yeah, I saw that. Mirana and Huskar. We could see a Dragon Knight here with the Huskar ban. Or 10 seconds left on their reserve time. I'd like to say probably Juggernaut. I hope we don't see a Tinker, but we could see a Tinker.
I also... Ooh,
Kunkka. Okay.
Yeah,
Similar...
I mean, he's still a big boy. He's a body for Luna.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Dragon Knight was my initial thought because he's that kind of big meat shield initiator type style, but Kunkka can kind of fill that same role.
He also gets set up by Bane and can benefit from Black Hole,
Mm-hmm.
which is something they were looking for. I like it. Yeah, I mean, Dragon Knight I think might have been a better choice because Dragon Knight's also not going to suck up a ton of farm because Luna can take over your side of the map very quickly. She's a very greedy hero. Kunkka's not really going to do. He won't take too much farm, but he's another body to go up there with Ogre to set up for the other 3 heroes. And yeah, he combos with everyone. He makes sense, right? He's a bit of a finesse hero though, so that's something. Kunkka, he can be a wild card if you have to have a Kunkka player. You can't just put anyone on the hero.
I agree. Yeah, he's not an innately simple hero to understand, right? But he does have a lot of strengths in this game. I think it will be rough for him with Silencer being in the pool. Say he tries to X mark or like boat someone. Yeah, he just gets globaled. His combo is completely toasted. Juggernaut also inherently dodges any X marks.
Yep.
So it is not the easiest Kunkka game. But
for sure, he's
still a good
have
hero.
To impress.
Yeah,
definitely. And he feels they needed a frontliner.
I think we agree. Like I probably would have gone Dragon Knight here. I think it just offers more damage, makes it just a more push ability in the early mid game, and
he soaks up on
there he is.
Ask and you shall receive, Ricky. Look how scary the dire side is.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's lineup. It's gonna run at you, and it's very difficult to stop them, especially when you're silenced. I love that actually. They're gonna have. I'm excited to see the team fights coming up from Georgia Tech, or rather, sorry, not Georgia Tech, Alabama.
Yeah, I was like, you mean Crimson Guard here, the Alabama lineup, right?
Mixed up.
Yeah,
Alabama Slammers. However, check out the Radiant cosmetics, man.
I mean,
some Enigma. I'm not pulling your weight. Neither is Bane.
Come on. I think I will say this Dragon Knight set is some weird stuff.
That looks like an original WoW helmet.
Yeah, that is a WoW set for sure. Yeah. This is going to be a good game. I'm really excited. Predictions? What do you think here based on the draft? Who would you lean towards?
It's so much easier for Dire, and I got to go with that. For Alabama, their team fight is so much easier to pull off, and time again, that has been the deciding factor. Kunkka's a finesse hero. Bane has to deal with global silence. Enigma is going to have all eyes on him because that's just what the hero does. I definitely am. I feel like Georgia Tech's lineup is stronger, but it feels so much more difficult to pull off. So there's so many things that can go wrong and that can bring your team down and keep you down. Where I feel like Dire can constantly put pressure on the enemy team, proactively or reactively.
I 100% agree with you. I'm right with you on that. I think Georgia Tech has the better draft, but we'll see. This Lenden Toke Luna could do a lot of work for them if he manages to get ahead.
They have the tools necessary to win for sure.
So let's start off. I'll go ahead and introduce Georgia Tech's lineup, starting with the Kunkka here. So we got none other than Bartlett on the Kunkka playing this mid lane. Enigma going to be played by Jake. The Luna bottom played by Lenden Toke. Something Genuine going to be playing Bane in the top lane. And the Ogre played by none other than Mole. We're going to go with Mole.
I like it.
How about you start us off with Alabama here?
Let me tell you about Alabama. We got Bunborn taking up position 1 on the Juggernaut. Next up, we have Large Discharge, I believe. That's him. He's going to be playing the Earthshaker. UA Ong, or Aang, on Centaur. Eddie, DDY, on Silencer. And Ember Island on Dragon Knight.
I dig it, I dig it.
Ember Island sounds like a very pleasant place this time of year.
Yeah. Lucky people.
Now, anything out of the ordinary with lanes? We see a Enigma with 3 mangoes top. I like that.
So
I like
we're
his
seeing
style
the Ogre bottom instead of the Bane. I understand
needs
why,
that, though.
but I think you would have been better off putting Ogre top and Bane bottom, because Bane will just benefit from that Lunar Blessing. So maybe not the most optimal lanes, but either way, I don't think the lanes are bad here for Georgia Tech. Great Fissure bottom secures that rune. So 3 runes going to go to Alabama.
Ogre's going to do this all lane.
Oh, yeah.
This is what he does. Just chases you around.
Yeah, I mean, this is... It's not a bad lane for him, right? The Centaur, surprisingly tanky, but Ignite does a lot of work against him. And Earthshaker is actually not super tanky of a hero. 1 armor, pretty susceptible.
Earthshaker had to get a...
Top lane, actually, Silencer almost dies.
Very squishy hero, Silencer, and it takes a little while for his harass to really start being scary. At level 1, he's even with Arcane Curse. He's not too scary. He wants to get at least 2 points into it, or potentially get another skill to help him out.
I agree.
He has to play the beginning of the lane quite slowly.
Mid lane, though, how do you feel? What are we going to see here between this Dragon Knight Kunkka lane? I feel like this is going to be probably the most bizarre lane.
I think that it's going to... Well, Kunkka has to play against Breathe Fire, because he wants to get the most damage out of his Tidebringers. So I think that's what it's going to come down to, is Dragon Knight using his Breathe Fire in the most effective way, which is to... When Tidebringer's up, and when Kunkka wants to use it to get CS. So I think this lane is so much easier for Kunkka, because he just wants to do what he does normally. He just plays the same game he always plays, where Dragon Knight might not be comfortable with this lineup, so I would favor Kunkka off that.
I think Kunkka will have a little bit easier time last hitting with a few levels, especially once Tidebringer cooldown the Tidebringer cooldown gets a little bit more favorable. Actually, top lane was like Bane a little bit out of position. He dead here? Brain Set might keep him alive.
Ooh, Silencer wants it.
He's got a lot of damage from the Arcane Curse and Juggernaut.
Silencer just barely makes it away, as well. Or not Silencer, sorry, Juggernaut.
Yeah, that was close for both of them.
Very close engagement. So Silencer's almost died, and now Juggernaut has almost died. I mean, eventually we're going to see a kill.
Yeah, right? We'll see a kill eventually in this lane. I think that definitely favors Georgia Tech, right? Blowing that much regen on this Juggernaut this early.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And then again, Bane actually isn't much of a hero that carries a lot of regen, just relies mainly on that brain set.
Well, Enigma's just going to sit in this lane forever. So Juggernaut's going to need to make sure he has regen. Actually, Centaur gets caught on bottom. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill him, but boy, they can put a lot of harass on him and push him out of lane. Centaur's not known as a squishy hero. Very well done. Do you think, I was going to say, do you think Earthshaker should be holding Fissures to maintain lane equilibrium, but it looks like that's actually what he's doing. The lane is in a pretty good spot for them. But is there any kill potential? It has to be on Luna.
It's so hard for them to get to the Luna.
They need to get a Fissure and a Hoof Stomp. They need to get both stuns.
Yeah, it really does. But it also requires Luna to be pretty far out of position, because she can Lucent Beam someone to mini stun, and Ogre has stun and slow to make space.
If she's out of position, she's not going to be there for long. Yeah, this is Ogre and Earthshaker and Ogre, rather. Yeah, they start hitting each other. They're getting antsy. They want some action.
Yeah, I mean, Ogre's out of mana now. Doesn't have anything coming on the courier either anytime soon. Bane top trying to stop a pull.
In mid lane, actually, it looks like Dragon's Blood is winning the fight so far.
Oh yeah, this Dragon Knight will have infinite amount of sustain.
Yeah, and look, now he knows that. He's just going to hit Kunkka, because he's just going to regen it up, whereas Kunkka only has 1 Tango left. Dang! Dragon Knight came to impress. I love that. Ember Island, beautiful time.
Violet will most likely be picking up a bottle to deal with that, I think. This Bane is just hunting Silencer top.
Oh, we have another spin. Going for the Eidolons. Juggernaut's going to get all of them.
Yeah, that's a great range
creep.
Okay,
and then we actually missed
first blood bottom. Well,
we saw the
said...
creep play, though. It's probably worth more gold.
Yeah, I think we did talk about it. It requires Luna to be a little bit out of position, but she got fissured out, set up Centaur Stomp and the double edge. She goes down.
And that's what's going to happen. Both those heroes can punish you for being out of position. There's a race to an Invis Rune mid lane. I think Dragonite sneaks it. Anger, poor sport Kunkka Tidebringers him as he runs away. Can Dragonite do anything with this, or is he just denying a bottle? He's just denying a bottle.
I was saying he's been hunting Silencer down, but he literally has been hunting him down all the way into the jungle. He'll walk away after
Silencer's
getting that
TPing
kill.
to the shrine, actually. Oh, he's going to find a ward.
Oh, he does see that ward. Okay, that wasn't one that was just placed, but he does get a D ward.
Is that actually better? That they know the ward's there now? Was that a better trade? Actually, Bane wants to go. They're setting something up on Jug.
I don't think he can do anything. I think he just walked over to get his boots.
He's gonna spin on the Bane.
No, he just got his boots. He can't. Oh, never mind. Jug does have boots and the Arcane Curse. Nope, doesn't spin.
He doesn't go for it.
Interesting.
He might have actually had a kill there. Is anything going on? The big strong boys are running through the jungle bottom, taking both bounty runes.
Yeah. So looks like
Juggernaut finds Bane again. This time so.
Alabama's gonna get all 4 of these bounty runes. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. Let's take a look at net worth after they get all these. Look at that. They're leading. That's what happens. You don't want the bounty runes, you don't get a lead in net worth. Fisher on bottom. Luna's safe though. Oh, Luna with Bloodlust. Look at her movement speed, 426.
That's a quick hero.
I don't even know if Centaur can catch her with Stampede up. Well,
like I was saying, Bloodlust is going to be incredibly valuable in this game for this Luna. So even if she gets off to a bad start, she'll put the rest of her points here into Blaze.
actually, there's a spin on top lane. Enigma's the one getting caught out. Silencer hits him with all of his spells, but it's not going to be enough damage. Now they're turning on to Juggernaut. Juggernaut gets taken out. The snipe, the long-range brain sap. Bane's actually going to keep going. He's got the bloodlust this game. Look at him just beating down Silencer. He has 3 creeps on him too. He's going to keep chasing. This is just cocky now. This is okay.
And
Fisher, here we go. He's locked in. Now Silencer's turning on it. What a bait. Does he have the stun?
Yep.
Yes, he does.
Nice.
And that's 2 intellect gone. Bye-bye. That's what you get for being cocky.
Well,
I like the
bloodlust
kill.
I've missed like almost every kill this game, but we got that one, so guaranteed no more missed kills. Easy.
I like it.
Let's look at mid though. Bartlett actually doing totally fine now, right? He's not too worried. He's right there.
Yeah, I think this
with
is going to be a CS contest now. It looks like neither of them were actually able to bully the other one out. 36-9 for DK, 30-6 for Kunkka. So DK is winning a little bit. But both heroes are farming.
Can we just note this experience difference in the top lane? This Enigma, almost 6.5.
Whoa, what?
This Juggernaut, barely level 4.
He's just running.
He's just walking in and he's going to black hole him.
Go for it. Go for it. There's a soaring.
There it is, black hole.
He has the Fisher though. He misses.
Oh, he misses the Fisher. In comes boat.
Puts him to sleep.
He does have spin,
There
just
it is.
didn't use it.
Is this guy, is Earthshaker in trouble? They have no lockdown for him. They're just going to put some damage on him.
Oh, they rotate 2 cores top.
And then Centaur gets gone. Oh, Centaur gets gone. What are they going to do? Actually, Luna can chase him down with this bloodlust. This is insane how much damage he puts out. There's a mango for the
Fire
Lucent
Blast.
Centaur's still tanking.
Nope, not in range.
They can't chase him.
Yeah, I think if Ogre got in range for the Fire Blast, they get him, but he doesn't have his boots yet, so unable to. Dragonite is putting some serious damage on the mid-tier 1,
That's what happens
though.
when you leave it.
Yeah, just because you did leave the lane there, but overall, I think it's definitely worth. He's not too upset about it.
Oh, yeah. Dragonite wants to get as much damage out of this as he can. He just keeps hitting. Is there some action going on top? Everyone's looking to fight.
I know, I'm like constantly snipping back and forth between
They
lanes.
keep everyone. Yeah, you look at the map. Everyone keeps running at each other top because Earthshaker's here and he wants to make some moves. And Bane's, Bane's proven his bloodlust.
Ward goes down, trying to heal himself up a little bit. Earthshaker wrapping around. And
Bane has much better vision for this. They know all 3 heroes are there. It's Fisher. He's gonna be fine.
If that Fissure was on the other side, they might be able to kill the Enigma with the spin, but...
Or, if Juggernaut was level 6 instead of level 4, he might have been able to get him Phenomenal Slash. We are going to see a fight, though. Juggernaut does find the spin on Enigma, who's going to TP out. Bane is on the back. Looks like he's going to try and finish off Earthshaker. There is the Brain Sap. It's not enough damage. Now Juggernaut's gone back in, but Eidolon and a Bane. Juggernaut bit off more than he can shoot. He actually gets taken down. A long-range Fisher isn't enough to save him. And the Eidolons are just going to take the lane now.
Ooh, bottom lane, Bartlett, Invis. Doesn't have X, though, so it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get the kill here.
Making stuff happen in the top lane.
Bartlett playing this so well.
The bait plays have been really doing work. Both teams seem bloodthirsty. They don't want to back up once they start chasing. and every time it leads to a kill.
Yeah, I did say this Silencer Juggernaut lane is going to be a little weak, just because as like far the heroes go, and we can see that, right? We have a level 2 Silencer, who's almost level 3, and we have a level 4 Juggernaut. So
yeah, no, you were completely right. It's not working out as intended.
Their Dragon Knight is at least having a good game, so he can make a lot of space early.
And how about Centaur as a core?
Yeah. You have Eclipse open on the Luna now, so she might actually be able to secure a kill. There is a bit of Defiance on Centaur, so he's not going to...
He has to do it before Stampede, because she can't Eclipse with Stampede up, and Centaur just...
And there he gets it.
So. He actually runs a double edges her, trying to bait it out, maybe. Oh, there's the Stampede. Oh, the aggressive Stampede into the Eclipse. They hit both stuns, I think. She gets taken out anyways by the double edge. I'm not sure if the Fissure actually hit. It might have just been the Aftershock.
Yeah, the Fissure did miss, but it did block her off, so she wasn't able to get away. I think as soon as you see that Centaur hit level 6, you gotta leave, and she tried, right? She immediately Lucent beamed him and started running, but Ogre, unfortunately, not close enough to help keep that Luna alive, and this
Ogre
time,
does secure the bounty rune.
Gonna pick up 3 bounty runes.
Make that. Oh, just 3. And Dragon Knight's putting more damage mid lane, and he runs away. I love it. Next time he's gonna get it.
How do you feel about Enigma's build, right? Picks up a Helm of the Dominator, pushes tier 1 tower down already top.
He wants to be the pressure creator. He has already. I mean, he's taken his tower. He's the first one to take his tower. There's a Dragon Knight in the game. There's a Luna in the game. Speaking of Luna, it looks like she's getting gone on bottom. Ogre gives her Bloodlust. She flies out of there. Centaur's actually in a lot of trouble here in tower range and getting kited by Luna. Luna goes back in. He's gonna get Hoof Stomp, but blocks Centaur, who gets killed by Brain Sap. Now they're looking for Earthshaker. Earthshaker's running away. Ogre has an Orb of Venom, but it's not going to be enough because Ogre doesn't have boots.
Yep, still no boots.
He's level 4. What's Silencer looking at? Level-wise? Where'd he go?
4. He's level 4, almost 5. So
both these guys are struggling. Bane, bloodthirsty. Bane, though, doesn't even have mana coming in the back with Kunkka. There's the X into the Torrent and the boat. This is a lot of damage coming out with the Brain Sap. It might be enough. Doesn't even get Fissure off. And they're just going to back it up. Bane's still there. Bane doesn't have any mana. Get out of there. Oh, he's getting his Arcane. Okay.
Alright, that makes sense. Yeah, I looked mid to see if he was going to get the tower and missed the kill bottom, so that was my bad. There is an X.
Centaur gets gone on bottom. The Fiend's Grip out of the air from the Torrent. They're going to beat him down, but look at him just standing there. He's so tanky. They finally get him right as it ends. Yeah. Earthshaker's going to show up, but I don't know if he's going to do anything. The longest TP ever.
Yeah, he just has to wait. Still not level 6 either. How do you feel about net worth, right? We talked about this Dragon Knight having a great mid lane, having top CS, so obviously we have him top of the net worth, but...
Yeah, but then look at the next 3.
I was going to say.
Oh boy. Well, the thing is, look at Luna and Centaur. That's a big deal right there. Luna and Centaur being essentially the same. Now, is that more of a Centaur's owning, or Luna's doing terrible?
I think you expect Centaur to have that much farm. Normally, maybe a little bit more. So it's like, as far as Georgia Tech should be concerned, that's definitely favorable to them. And like having a Luna as farmed as she is, because normally she doesn't do super well in the lanes, and Centaur typically that lane dominator. And I think that's what the kind of the issue you have with this double melee offlane, this Earthshaker and this Centaur. You don't really have the ability to get on top of this Luna. At least
she has
easily.
to be out of position, and now with Bloodlust, there's no way. Even if she is, she speeds out.
And Ogre maxing Bloodlust here went 1-1-3-6.
There's a black hole top. It might. Yeah, there it is. Black hole on the Juggernaut while he's spinning. Oh,
he was actually just sitting under Midnight Pulse, taking Eidolon damage, and then off.
He initiated that conflict with Enigma. He just ran at him, and I essentially just fed. Now I want to talk about this network again. Look at what Enigma's doing in this network, though.
Mid lane actually, X-Boat right onto Silencer's head. He's just
it's so much damage this early, especially with Silencer not even being 6.
Yeah.
You can't survive that. Kunkka? No, he doesn't have mana to go in on mid. What I was going to say is Enigma has such a high net worth, highest in the game, but he's building a Midas with it. Now, how do you feel about that?
I'm totally okay with it.
Really?
Yeah,
you
think I think it's fine. He's got it done. He's got it done. They're like, as far as this Enigma, I think you need him to. He needs a lot of items this game to be relevant, right? He needs like.
But I don't think he needs the Midas to help him get those items. I think he farms just fine without it.
You're right. I think he does, but I don't think there's any reason not to get it. They're pretty far ahead as far as like Enigma versus like the other cores, right? He's an offlaner here, and he's top of the net worth. So picking up this Midas is only just going to make things easier for him. His talents are incredible too.
Yeah, and he's kind of more late game insurance, just like the Luna is.
Exactly.
I see. I was looking at it more of he needs to be a space creator for the Luna. But if he wants to go Midas and they just want to slow play the game, well, when they take this late, I think a Luna could take with Bloodlust, and you know, Farm is probably the scariest hero in this. Is definitely the scariest hero in this game, actually. So they're fine to take this game late and just play it slow if they need to.
Yeah, I think their main concern late game
does.
is going to be this Dragon Knight, because
I think Luna will chew him up late game though.
I was going to say
he
Luna
can't stand
is
on
the only way
Midnight
to
Pulse
deal
or
with it.
anything. Yeah, Midnight Pulse is going to be a big deal. They can drop it on top of Luna, and then Dragon Knight just can't fight her as long as she stands on top of it, because he's it's going to just chunk his health because he's a very high health pool hero, and it's percentage damage on Midnight Pulse. Now Kunkka though, late game. Speaking of late game insurance, Kunkka eventually just gets to roll some dice, and win if he goes Divine Rapier crit, which I love and hate. Do you have any feelings toward the fact that Kunkka just gets to do that? I think it's so weird to Dota, and I love that it exists, but I also hate what it does.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of heroes where you have this like kind of unique concept to them, and him being one of them. Top lane actually, Enigma.
Stun, ult, beat down by the sword carriers.
That's a big kill.
Earthshaker doesn't want to let. Oh, this is actually huge. This is 125 gold bounty if they kill the troll. 200 gold bounty got popped.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gold.
They find the Centaur Warrunner bottom, Fiend's Grip most likely. Yep, and the Eclipse. Oh, but global immediately. He might still go down here. No.
Oh my god, he's quick. He runs away, and then Dragon Knight, look at what he's doing. He's getting stunned now, actually. Silencer, you might have got a little too aggressive there. Nope, he's just going to TP out. He's next up, and he stuns. Wow, Centaur's supposed to be the hero that disengages, but Radiant team, Georgia Tech just did a great job just getting out of that fight with 6 months out. And look at, there's Kunkka building the crit. He actually might get caught out mid. No, they can't catch him.
Yeah, I think with Kunkka, very rarely do you have to pick up the Divine Rapier. He's got his Shadow Blade now. He's going for that crit afterward. Sometimes you see the Armlet build in the early stages, but I think overall it's pretty good. Juggernaut's not...
May have a clash bottom as Centaur gets aggressive, pushing a tower with Dragon Knight.
Malefice, Bane's on the side. Black Hole.
Oh, the two-man Black Hole. Look at that, spinning them around to their death. Here comes the boat to finish them off. They just got deleted. And look at that, look. Radiant just gets to, or Georgia Tech just gets to just walk over them and start pushing down their tower now. That misplay from Centaur set them up to just completely reverse the lane.
I mean, those are the two highest net worth heroes on Alabama.
If they show up to a fight, you don't want to take that fight.
And you talked about this earlier, right? This Midnight Pulse being such a great tool to help kill this Dragon Knight, and we see it right there, right? Just so much pure damage between Black Hole and Midnight Pulse. And you just choose right through.
Speaking of heroes, it's good to kill. Centaur, Earthshaker as well.
Yeah.
Fun thing about Earthshaker, this is like one of my favorite item interactions in the game. Earthshaker's highest damage item is actually a heart because of how it interacts with Enchant Totem.
Yeah.
I just think that's so funny. I love how that works, but you know, that is like a very strong item pickup on the hero. He is support, but if he wants to go that route, it's going to make him very vulnerable to Midnight Pulse.
So Luna picked up a Mask of Madness and is just kind of farming safely.
I think that's
great while you're
combo with Bloodlust, and she's a bullet.
Yeah. She doesn't really need to be threatening on this push here, but Juggernaut TP's
Juggernaut's TP, yeah. I think he has to want to make a move. There's no other reason to TP in.
Looks like Georgia Tech will back out. They don't want none of this. And Enigma sitting on 1,400 gold with Mana Boots complete, Helm of the Dominator, and Midas. This hero is very farmed. He's gonna go Blink Dagger, it looks like, as his next item. How do you feel about that?
I think... I mean, well, speaking of Blink Daggers, at one point Earthshaker grabbed his.
Did he? Okay, that's important. Yeah, that's right there.
So I wasn't really feeling the Midas on Enigma, but you won me over. I don't think you can follow the Midas up with the Blink Dagger. Enigma is a hero that needs to be in the thick of it to cast Black Hole, and going into the 20-minute mark is
the top there.
Actually, there's a boat. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Second time you've seen him get exploded.
And now we're going to see a Centaur cut out. They're looking to set up a Fisher. Are they going to get the Fiend Script? Yes, they are, but they lock Centaur in. He's on top of Midnight Pulse, and he can't get away. Brain Sap finishing everyone off. Great pure damage spell. Pure damage great against the tanky team.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Blink Dagger, though, I think Enigma's too squishy. He can't be... It's too late to go Blink. If you want to go Blink, I think you rush it, or you have to get it after getting tanky items. And he is fully relying on blinking in and getting a huge black hole. He's relying on that against a Global Silence. He's relying on that against an Earthshaker stun. He's going to die as soon as he blinks in. He needs to be the hero following up. Oh, actually, speaking of fights, an Echo Slam destroys Luna, and then the Fisher Tries to hit both Bane and Ogre, only hits the Ogre. We're going to see the team split up here, and then Dragon Knight's going to find Kunkka in the trees. Kunkka can't get out. He's going to drop the boat. He doesn't get a benefit from Coco's Rum, and all it does is a little bit of damage to Dragon Knight. But just like in lane, Dragon Knight's going to regen that back. But damage back up with Dragon's Blood.
That Echo Slam. So much patience there, right? Alabama really just kind of waited and waited and waited. They hadn't seen Earthshaker since he bought the Blink Dagger. And they were so far ahead, right? Going into that, they thought for sure they can take that tower. And Earthshaker reveals that Blink Dagger, gets a really great kill on the Luna, and just sets up that second kill as well on that.
Looks like there's an engagement bottom, but very low health Silencers near an Ogre. They're going to back out.
That's a free tower. Juggernaut, actually, after that fight now, very close finishing his Battle Fury, so it will allow him to kind of come back a little bit, but we did talk about this, right? He is not a hero that recovers like Luna, and we can see that in the net worth here, right? Her net worth is kind of just skyrocketing despite having just died.
Yep, over 1,000 ahead of him. Actually, Juggernaut gets slept bottom, and Luna's going to show up here. Throw that net worth at him. There's the Eidolons chasing up Juggernaut. He spins to try and get away, but he's still in range of a lot of spells as soon as this ends, like the Eclipse and like a Bane Sleep. Here comes an Ogre Stun. A Great Fisher might actually save him. Multicast is going to hold him there a little bit longer when he gets healed up by Healing Ward. He's going to go down, and so is his Ward. Earthshaker makes it out, but now Silencer is in an awful position. About to get X marked back. There it is.
And
not
he
even trying
sits there and waits for his death.
Yeah, he
accepted fate at that point.
He was typing at Earthshaker, why did you leave me?
Yeah. One thing to point out to Jake, the Enigma, had multiple times the Black Hole there, held it knowing that they were going to get those kills, so now they have this ability to push the tower, there's no Earthshaker ult, and they have this Black Hole available. So
he applies so much more pressure on this push because he still has Black Hole up, and the Blink Dagger I love right now, because when he's fighting on top of the objectives, he might actually be able to get that Dream Black Hole where he blinks in and hits everyone or hits Silencer and Earthshaker together so they can't interrupt him.
He is opting for BKB as his next item. It is a good item to stop the long range fissure, but doesn't really stop the Silencer Global. I would have liked a Guardian Greaves, I believe. I would have gone Guardian. I think Guardian Greaves instead of the Blink Dagger might have been just the better item this game, because your team needs to start taking some like big objectives here and opening up that Roshan pit. And I think with Guardian Greaves, you give your team a lot more kind of survivability, a lot more utility in these fights.
I agree completely. I think a more team fight oriented item that benefits multiple players would be ideal here, because there's more damage coming out in the fights and he wants people to stay alive. His role on the team is to make space for Luna in the fights.
Yeah, and Luna's not even going to be in these fights for now, right? She wants to get like another item or two, and she can do that pretty freely with this game, right? There's not going to be a lot of pressure applied to her, so the rest of the team kind of roaming as four with those items, I think is what Georgia Tech are looking to do at this point. There's a Glimmer Cape actually picked up on Bane. I really like that item.
I think that's great. He can use it on himself while he's casting, and he can use it on his allies to save them. And yeah, with the way Bane is, or the way Enigma's building, he's essentially just a black hole.
So check this out. We got a smoke coming from Alabama. They did see the Luna farming under that deep ward, but it looks like they're going to rotate top, perhaps. Maybe try and catch this Ogre.
Yeah, they're trying to decide what to do. Juggernaut's not.
I'm going to say that Silencer almost dies.
Here we go. We see some Eidolons. They're looking. They find a Kunkka. Bye-bye. There's the stun. Fisher's going to fall. They don't even need to use it. They didn't even need to use spin, but they use it anyways.
They just double-edged him and he's gone. Kunkka's surprisingly not a very tanky hero, right? Once without like a few items or without that rum buff.
Yep. And he's building to rely on his invisibility and his damage, which when he gets jumped isn't going to help.
Yeah, I love this Shadowblade by Dragon Knight. It's allowing him to play very active, get these like very good pickoffs. But 6,000 net worth lead currently right now for the side of Georgia Tech. If you look at the graph here, it's just kind of been a steady kind of gain for them in both experience as well. So if this continues, and it's likely that it will, I see this game getting pretty difficult for Alabama.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Georgia Tech has the insurance to take this game late with a Midas Enigma and a Luna, as well as Kunkka's already built his crit, going straight for the Daedalus. He can win a fight in a single swing, some say. I like where Georgia Tech is now, and I like where they're going. I think Alabama
is he going to get the cleave on a Silencer?
Let's go!
He does. Doesn't get
It's a lot of damage. Not enough, unfortunately, but a lot.
Yeah. No crit, but gets half of his health with one swing.
I'm getting a spectator visual bug. I'm just going to restart the game, so I'm going to leave you for just a moment here, Ricky.
Oh no! That's fine. I'll see in just a moment. DD actually spawning top. We'll see who picks that up. Juggernaut looking to finally take this tier 1 tower top. Maybe this is really good for them because it opens up a little bit more of the vision around that Roche side of the map. So they should be able to get this here. He is going to back. He doesn't see anyone on the Radiant, as we can see here, so he needs to leave. He's a little bit afraid. Great play by him. Dire's vision actually extremely defensive here with the wards in their own jungle. Just kind of watch any rotations that Georgia Tech could make. Kanka finds that DD top. And this Luna is farming so fast. But surprisingly, Enigma is managing to stay in front of the Luna, which is pretty impressive. We might see ourselves a fight here. Bane comes to the high ground, finds the Juggernaut, immediately Fiend's Grip, but a Blink War Stomp will stop that. Now, Bane in a lot of trouble. Stampede comes through. He does Glimmer Cape himself up, should be alright. First to fall is going to actually, oh my gosh, Kunkka Shadow Blades up. There's no detection, and now Centaur Warrunner will fall to the Bane Fiend's Grip, and that fight's over. They were so close, actually. So many kills that almost went down for Georgia Tech here, but no detection. Enigma blinks forward, still has Black Hole, isn't going to use it, so they X up and Torrent the Dragon Knight. Luna actually just pumping out so much damage. Will Dragon Tail him, and Fissure to kind of stop. Now in comes this DD Kunkka. One more auto attack should do it, and he gets it. Does he X mark? No, gets silenced just in time.
I managed to get back into the game here.
Wow.
Right in time to see Silencer get taken out after his teammates.
Oh, will they get him? X just in case. What the?
Oh,
the trolls.
The troll.
Blink
Yes.
Echo top misses onto Lendentoad.
Look how quick he is. Oh, the Fissure locks him in though. He has his team
He's
to
gotta
back
be
him up.
so
Enigma's
careful.
gonna
They
chase.
still have Black Hole. They haven't used it yet. 3 are in top now.
Centaur gets caught out. There's the combo. Kunkka, he's gonna get stunned. A lot of damage, but there's a healing word to fall. Black Hole on Juggernaut by himself. They just want to take him out. Centaur blinks into it. He's gonna follow it up with a stump, but both BKBs are used. He doesn't get anyone. He gets taken out. Now Bane gonna chase the sleeping Earthshaker. They're all around him. That's exactly what Earthshaker wants, but not if he's stunned the entire time and standing in Midnight Pulse. He gets taken down in his tower soon to follow.
What
That's
a great
everything.
series there for Georgia Tech. They just
That's why you first pick an Enigma. I
Yeah.
think you might have played this hero before.
yeah, it seems like it maybe once or twice.
Once or twice. They really brought it together. Wow, and look at that net worth.
Double buyback. And I mean there's no Echo here. You still have Global available, but it's not that big a deal. You've already blown your Black Hole. Kunkka just trying to make space for his
I like
team.
this. He knows that everyone else is going to push faster than he is.
Oh yeah. He's just kind of a nuisance. He's a meat shield. Ogre gonna come forward, probably do the same thing. And here come the Luna Lades, gonna ensure that these racks go down.
Ogre's even scaring people away.
Hey, get to
Yeah.
this silencer might actually just die.
Oh, Centaur gets stunned up. There's the BKB from the Dragon Knight. They're committing to this fight. The global silence breaks the Fiend's Grip, and Luna's going to get taken out. Bane soon to follow. Ogre, very low health. He's going to get chased down now. They overstayed their welcome. And a reversal coming out from Alabama.
Great.
They're not out of
Great
this
defense. Yeah, they did lose their racks, but they did manage to actually get some sort of comeback. The big win here is this experience. Over 5,000 experience
yet.
going their way.
Look at that. That's insane.
But not a lot of gold, and that's because they did expend a little bit of money there for those buybacks.
Yes. Checking out buyback status. Actually, no one on only Silencer has buyback for Alabama.
That was a great global by him there too. He caught it right after the Fiend's Grip, so his Dragon Knight didn't really kind of waste his time there.
They got
Finally,
the damage.
they get this tower. We'll take a look at the net worth graph here once that updates, I'm sure. But Georgia Tech, pretty substantial lead, 13K right now.
Yep, they're still in a great position, but not in a position to end it just at this moment, which is a harsh lesson that they just learned.
Looks like Enigma's going straight for a refresher.
So he's just the black hole.
He
That's
just
what
wants to
he
get black
play, and
holes off.
He's doing it. I honestly, this seemed insane to me. I think maybe we both might have even been feeling it felt odd, but he's pulling it off.
Yeah.
He just be the black hole, and he's doing it. He's like, even last fight, he went for the solo Juggernaut, didn't even think twice about it, and it led to them taking a lane of racks.
Yeah, the Centaur unfortunately blinked too close to the black hole, couldn't cleave him with the hoof stomp, so
Right.
that was unfortunate by him. Airshaker had already blown his whole spell kit, and by the time he could get back over there for the fissure, it was just too late. So Jake, I really, he's just been very patient this game with his black holes, and you don't. I do like it when you see these players playing Enigma and all they do is they solo black hole an important target, knowing that if we get that kill, we can get something off of it, right?
Yeah, they don't need to hit 5 people, they just have to hit the most important person.
Exactly. And so even if it gets canceled, he's been helping secure kills on important targets with every black hole this game.
Yeah, it feels much better to get 1 kill than 0 kills with black hole. We're going to see Earthshaker get caught up. He gets hit by the Kunkka combo, followed up by the Shark Bite, and he's done. Now, Dragon Knight has to use the BKB to get away. That's a huge deal. His tower is going to fall behind him. He's going to need to heal up before he can take this fight. But is he going to be able to fight without his BKB? Luna immediately starts applying the pressure. There's actually double damage on Kunkka. So if he hits, oh god, he could just kill everybody.
Silencer. Oh my god.
900 damage. He's gone.
More auto, he's gone.
And in the meantime, look at what Luna's doing.
This is the Luna effect, right?
You can't lose your tier 3 against Luna, or else you lose the invulnerability, and all of a sudden you have to try and initiate a fight.
I mean, your tier 4s are taking damage too from just these glaives. In comes Enigma, pops.
Here's the BKB. Is he going to be able to pull something crazy off? He's just going for 1 kill. He's going to get the Centaur. He's going to zone it out. There's a Global Silence to stop him, but it doesn't look like his team's really getting stopped. Omni Slash might help. It's on Jake, but he's used all his spells. Now Juggernaut wants to pursue. Decides to go for the Ogre, who's stuck in the back. In the meantime, Bane is holding down Dragon Knight, but to no avail. Luna actually sends her Illusion back in to push the tower a little bit more, but she's going to run away. Same with Kunkka.
Yeah, this is what we keep seeing. We see Dire like getting these like okay fights in their base, right? They're managing to like get some good kills, but it's costing them Iraqs every time they do. And at this point in the game, it's going to be extremely difficult to hold your high ground against this Luna.
Yeah, and Luna's just showing off the power of the glaives.
Yeah,
just goes right and doesn't think twice, because as soon as the glaives get bouncing, it's a lot more pressure to start defending. Because, like you said, it's like the tier 4s, man.
Yeah,
they're getting hit.
Yeah, and if you're like an Earthshaker or a Centaur, even you actually have to be smoked up or invis, or else the glaives will cancel your ability to blink in on these fights. So there's a lot of utility that actually comes out from just breaking that tier 3 tower. It opens up so much of the base. And
yeah. Speaking of, there's a smoke picked up on Earthshaker. So
yeah, Alabama needs to make something happen here very soon.
They need to make a defense turn into Roshan, I feel, if they want to get any footing on this game. If they lose the next fight, I believe they will lose the game.
Yeah,
this is their last play right here.
Yeah, I mean we can look at buybacks here, but it's gonna be pretty obvious here, right? You have the buybacks from the 2 cores, and that's pretty much it. And those 2 guys alone, this Dragon Knight and Juggernaut, are not gonna be able to hold high ground on their own. You're talking about Roche. Berserk just goes right in for it. They did scout it with this ward, I believe, so they should know they're there. They smoke up, right? And
look how fast Georgia Tech's dealing with this.
Bane,
oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Roshan's down. Here it comes. Is there going to be an Echo Slam? Yes, there is. It's going to hit on Kunkka and a support. There's the Eclipse and the BKB. Luna's tearing through everybody. Bane gets eliminated. The 2 BKB carries are fighting, and Dragon Knight knows he's not going to win. He runs away immediately. A Fisher keeps everyone out. Fantastic play by Earthshaker before he goes down, actually making a 1-for-2 trade, but with cooldowns expended and the Aegis claimed.
You still have global at least, so there's that. You can prevent this black hole in the next fight, but you still have an Aegis on Luna, and if she walks onto your high ground, it is going to be very difficult for you to stop that.
And how do you fight without Omni Slash and without BKB, and potentially without Dragon Form, actually, depending on how long they want to wait?
They actually just need to make sure that they keep that bot lane pushed as much as possible. Juggernaut's been kind of going back and forth to there, throwing illusions with his Manta, and he needs to keep doing that. If this wave here approaches and gets to that Rax, they're in a lot of trouble, and here comes Kunkka going to shove it out.
Yep.
The double catapult wave too, so this is a very important wave. They need to cut this one as soon as possible.
We got a refresher, Ricky.
Did we really? The refresher.
He's a double. He's got the reload button.
Oh no.
Let's see if he gets to pull it off.
Yeah, he better refresh just to use Midas.
You know what's crazy is I mean, yeah, that's obvious. The obvious play. Apart from the refresh BKB is double Midnight Pulse. They stack on top of each other. Oh, here we go. Enigma's gonna go, and I don't think this would be the black hole play, but it is a Stampede play. Centaur really wants to start a fight.
Oh, he is so out
He
of
double
position.
edges and gets caught out. Yeah, there's the axe. He has no way to get out of the Kunkka combo. Luna's just going to take him down. Throwing snowballs with Scotty. Still holding the Aegis. Juggernaut spins to win. Get out. Bane misses. Oh, doesn't have Fiend's Grip up. Okay. Couldn't
Yeah,
have
I was
got him
like,
there.
how did they not get him? But yeah, no Fiend's Grip.
And now look at this tower. No defense. Centaur's down. Luna, there's the Glaives. They're going to crush this creep wave, or Shaker has to make a move. He doesn't have Echo Slam for 20 more seconds. They can lose the racks in 20 seconds.
Oh, they're going to lose the racks in 20 seconds.
Yeah, this is a Luna. Oh my god, they're going to lose the racks in 2 seconds.
Look at this Jug runs in, ults. Started lost a lot of health, but Fiend's Grip on the back line.
There it is. They're going to see if they can slow them down. There's the Global Silence, trying to get some footing in this fight. Ogre's going very deep. There's a black hole. But, and a
there's the
refresher.
refresher. And is he
Go
going to
for
use
another
it?
one?
No.
Doesn't have to. Golden it.
Great Echo Slam.
Yeah, Dragonite walks into the black hole out of Fountain. You fell right into my trap. Luna. Oh, Luna actually might be in trouble. No, just kidding.
It's already over. We got a good game here. We got a good game.
I love that. That was a great game, Ricky.
That was fun to watch. I mean, Georgia Tech honestly played that really well.
They did. They did an excellent job. They were a cohesive team. They pulled out the cooperation and teamwork that I expected from Alabama. And Georgia Tech had a... Would you say that Georgia Tech's lineup is more difficult to pull off in like team fights than Alabama?
On paper, right, it seems like it should be, but
Right,
I think,
but look at how they played it. That was amazing.
yeah, I think their lanes just went so well that you kind of, even if your team lineup is difficult to play, like you do have still some great team fight, you have some great pushing potential, and Alabama just too far behind to kind of deal with it, you know.
Yeah, they got behind and they were never really able to keep it or get back on their feet. They like that's what I love to see is games like that where teams can pull it together. It's not just an individual skill. It's clearly a team game. They work together and the better team wins, not the team with the higher MMR player. And those are the teams that always seem to succeed in the CSL in the past. And I think everyone must have caught on by now. If you haven't, we'll tell it to you straight. These are the teams that are going to do it. And Georgia Tech has impressed me a lot. I'm very excited to see what they do in game 2. I want to know. I'm excited to see the draft. I'm excited to see them play it because that was art. That was an honor to watch.
It really was. So on that note, we'll be right back. We're going to go into game number 2 in just a little bit, but until then, we'll listen to some good tunes. Thank you very much.
See you guys soon.